gentlemen, welcome to the Pop Art Hunter channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a book. It's movie posters from Disney. Yeah, it's got everything from Steamboat Willie to Inside Out, it says, and so it's a nice big book compared to some of the other movie posters books I have. It's almost like you could, probably rip some of these out and maybe make them, frame them, make them own little mini prints that you could put on your wall. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to destroy the book. I'd rather have it on the shelf, and I don't have the wall spaces you might be able to see behind me in every other room in my house. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty. So again, Disney movie posters, everything from Steamboat Willie to Inside Out, apparently. However, you're going to notice something about me. One, I probably don't like as many Disney movies as I should like. And number two, I like Disney movies. But I think a lot of the older stuff, certain films I just don't like, and I'm sure that it's going to be controversial because a lot of people I'm sure are going to like this. Just looking at the cover, never been a Pinocchio fan. Didn't care for Peter Pan. Now, I'm not opposed to the story of Peter Pan. I love Hook with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman. It's a great film. I like some of the story and the premise behind Peter Pan. I've liked other properties that have used that. Finding Neverland is a Broadway musical I like. Not a big fan of Peter Pan. Not a big fan of Pinocchio. Didn't really have much good to say about Pinocchio. Cinderella, it's all right. Loves Pirates, love Lion King, love Toy Story, think Frozen's pretty good. Don't remember Parent Trap, but it was probably okay. Mickey Mouse is all right. But, so it's about 50-50. As we go through this book, though, if I say something and I say I hate a movie, or I don't care for the movie, or it's not my favorite movie, I guess you can just ignore that and purchase this book for yourself and enjoy the posters that you like and leave me to myself. Anyway, Frozen. Good show. There's a movie poster there. Once again, this is kind of a collection from Disney, so it's nice because you know what you're going to get as you come through here. Now, the one thing I didn't expect is all the live action stuff, and even live action stuff that wasn't what I was expecting. Live action films that, we'll get to, and I'll show you. I just didn't expect to see it in this book. So, Peter Pan, pretty cool poster. I actually like this. It's just, the crocodile, I think, is my favorite animated creature or character from that particular cartoon. Captain Hook maybe second best, possibly a Shmi. Alice in Wonderland, I'm a Johnny Depp fan, but Alice in Wonderland, not that much. But a cool costuming and cool poster. And that's really, I think, the thing is we should probably talk about is the posters instead of whether or not I love or hate the movie. I just went on my own little tangent. Lion King. Lion King is classic. It's classic. And they have here a little, this is a re-release poster. And this is from 2010. And then this one, it says, marketed to adults. So apparently this was the poster, which it makes sense. And you'll find that as I've opened posters before, like for Aladdin as an example. Or there was, when I got the Aladdin posters, there was also Hunchback of Notre Dame, Tarzan, and some of those. And Hunchback, it has hey, here's a kid-friendly version. And then there was this really cool version, even though I don't like Hunchback. There was a really cool poster, and it looked really awesome. But it wasn't the kids, hey, we have fun characters. Pearl Harbor. That was the first thing I opened up. I was like, Pearl Harbor? I guess I don't consider that a Disney movie, even though it's a Disney property. It just didn't hit me as Disney. I do know that Oz the Great and Powerful is a Disney movie, live action. Kind of expected that to be in here. Didn't think the movie was that great, but I'm kind of an Oz snob and a Oz movie history buff a little bit, and so this just didn't do it for me. I don't know why. It didn't find the plot very interesting, and it was a little overdone with CGI, and that's coming from me, and I don't mind CGI. Snow White, never was really a fan of it. I mean, obviously, Dopey, he's fun. I mean, it was great animation style. And this goes back to the history of, Wizard of Oz, because essentially Wizard of Oz was to combat Snow White. I should do a little video about that one day, because I do like me some Wizard of Oz, and I do like Wizard of Oz history. Maleficent, here's the thing. It was an okay movie. I thought it was all right. But the costuming, wonderful. And I think it's... I was going to say Drew Struzan, but it's not. Rick Baker. I think Rick Baker did the costuming for that. You know how much I love Rick Baker. Yeah, it's an okay poster. I don't really... These are okay. Some of the newer ones are a little bit more modern looking, and I think they would be all right, except for, these are teaser posters, which are okay, but it doesn't really tease a whole lot. It doesn't give enough. One of my favorite teaser posters is How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey, because just his hand and a bulb. It says everything, because you come back with all those memories of what you remember from the old cartoon. So now we get into some of the older, and until I just briefly like fluttered through the book to make sure that there was nothing obscene, which in a Disney book I wouldn't imagine there would be. But I noticed this one, I was like, what is this? I've never heard of this in my life, and so I looked it up. But I guess before Disney was Disney, they did these Alice's Day at Sea, Alice the Peacemaker, and essentially it was their first soiree into having live action with cartoon in the same show. So I definitely recommend YouTubing it. Posters are nothing to write home about, but I'm sure at the time this was amazing. I mean, you got to think, this was 1924. This was before Photoshop, and so to cut somebody out, put it with a cartoon, have it interact. This is probably cutting edge stuff there, and I'm sure people were surprised and shocked. This is in that Cuphead style, the little 30s here. I can see this being a boss in Cuphead. It's got the exact same. So knowing that's 1930s, because I always talk about Cuphead style, and I never off the top of my head know the decade that's from. So I'm gonna go with 30s from now on. 1930s, Cuphead style. So Silly Symphony, pretty colorful posters here. Just some general Mickey Mouse stuff. I mean, I'm surprised that, and I guess that's kind of shocking to me because, obviously these, short cartoons would have been feature presentations back in the day versus now, we see an hour and a half movie and you're like, wow, I don't know if I got my $6 worth at the theater for that one, or 10 or 100, wherever you're from. But back in the day, a little 5-10 minute short was, you went to the movie theater for that. So they would have advertised it. Oh my goodness. Poor Paluto there. He is not in a good way. All right, we got Tangled Ever After, and I actually at first I thought there was a sequel to Tangled, and I had no idea. I think this was just a short that came afterwards. I was like, what? How did I miss an entire Pixar movie? Usually, even if you don't like new Disney or Pixar movies, you at least know of them. Even if you're like, I'm not going to go see that one, it existed. Here's some international posters, so you can see the different variations. It's always amazing to me why they choose to do different artwork for the different international posters. Depending what's going to resonate with the next person, it's just kind of interesting. So Mirror Mirror on the Wall. So this is re-released. It was marketed to adults, and I believe, as far as I can tell, it was a mirror because you can see the person taking the photo here. So it's kind of a clever marketing technique to actually put the mirror on that paper. Pinocchio posters are all okay. Don't hate them. Fantasia's a little simplistic. Got done, but we're going to go a little bit faster here. We don't want to make this a 487-minute video. Well, that would be outlandish and probably unlikely. But so, Victory Through Air Power. That doesn't... I don't even know what that is exactly. But it's produced in Technicolor. But Cinderella poster, that doesn't really... I don't know. It's a little... Nothing much there of interest. I wouldn't purchase that poster. I wasn't a huge fan of Cinderella, but I still wouldn't go out of my way to purchase that. It wouldn't be worth the storage space required. Alice in Wonderland, also a show I did not particularly care for. It was okay. Animation was all right. The story has always been a little psychedelic for me. But Peter Pan's all right. Love Lady and the Tramp. Not a great poster. It's kind of interesting seeing the poster style and how they progress, though. They're pretty simple and splashy colors. This Sleeping Beauty poster I actually think is pretty cool. If I had to choose between them, I like this one is just kind of standards. Like, hey, there's some characters. This one has some artistic flair to it. Kind of pulls in a little foreshadowing of the dragon. If you haven't seen Sleeping Beauty, spoiler alert, sorry, there's a dragon. But it's a little foreshadowing of that. Yeah, the Disney posters early on here are pretty basic. And they don't do they almost, I don't know, they just don't look very complete. I mean, it looks like, it's like when you talk to a graphic designer, and the graphic designer gives you a clip art cat. Like, that's kind of how I feel like some of these posters, it's like, no, I want something more modern and nice looking. And granted, these are older, so I mean, it would make some sense. Fox and the Hound, Oliver and Company. All right, so this is more like the poster style, the more modern looking poster style, and obviously this is a more modern movie, 2009, but that has a more clean look and feel to it. I don't think I saw a Little Mermaid poster in original. It was marketed to children in 1990, so this is probably the original poster. And I honestly don't think that's a bad poster. I think that's pretty nice. If I had to pick between them, it would definitely be the re-release, though. I like these artistic. This could be a teaser poster, but for me, it does more than this one with all the characters on it and stuff like that. Same thing, Beauty and the Beast. This was marketed to adults. This is for the kids. Don't care for this poster at all. Like, it's just the color scheme, the beast and the clouds. I just don't like that. Love this though. It's subtle, and we see that back and forth. Marketed to children, marketed to adults. Marketed to children, marketed to adults. Here's the thing. I think as a kid, I probably like this poster better, and as an adult, I like this. So Disney knows what they're doing. Same thing with Lion King. Like, some of these posters are just so great. Like, it almost feels like these are the alternative posters, the variant posters you might see on a Mondo or a Bottleneck or something like that. These are just a little bit more classy. Here's the Hunchback. This isn't a poster I was talking about specifically. Didn't like Pocahontas, didn't like Hunchback. Mulan was okay. Love Treasure Planet. And that's going to be controversial because I'm sure a lot of people hate Treasure Planet. I absolutely love Treasure Planet. I thought that was great. And that's a great poster too. If I could find this poster for cheap, I would probably get it. Probably wouldn't pay a lot for it just because the resellability is likely not very high due to it not being the most popular of the movies. I did not like Lilo and Stitch. And this is where we get into me not liking a ton of Disney movies. It wasn't my favorite movie ever, but this is a phenomenal poster. There's one in every family, and they have all these Disney characters at the top scowling at Stitch. That's clever. That's really, really clever. And they have so many characters here. Even like you see Ariel's fin, but you don't see Ariel. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I can see 14 characters, and they even got, subtle with some. That's pretty cool. Don't remember a lot about Brother Bear. I thought I was maybe okay. I didn't even know Chicken Little was Disney. Maybe I have to see Chicken Little now because I don't remember it. Great poster. Again, minimalist, simple, and maybe that's what I gravitate towards. Maybe that's what I like. It sums up the movie. It's video games. It's got the nostalgia. For kids who don't know what it is, it's just a simple drawing, and it teases what the movie is going to essentially revolve around. But once I get to the theater, it's in a nice fashion. Love the Frozen teaser poster. This is a very nice poster. This is the France teaser poster. It's interesting. Like, the teaser poster for America is just like, meh, Frozen. And then this one's like, and it's got like some beauty and scope and some artistic presence. Like, that's much better. I would definitely get the France version over anything else. But Disney, Pixar, I loved. I actually almost recently just purchased these. They were in a set, but it was missing the Heimlich poster, and I like Heimlich the best, so I would love the Heimlich poster. These are very simplistic, just a couple of the main characters on the front, nothing too fancy, which, again, I think is okay. It sums up the movie pretty nicely, doesn't give away too much. Cars, I wasn't a huge fan of, but I think as a teaser poster, that's pretty slick. Lets you know there's going to be talking cars without, throwing it in your face. Like, again, a pretty good way to do it. That's a pretty poster. It's just the colors. They come out in a little old Wally, with his orange rusted metal there. Yeah, some great posters in there. And then we get into some live action stuff here. I'm going to flutter through these. Some of the older Treasure Island, Davy Crockett, a lot of older posters. A lot of Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Posters okay, not that great, but it does integrate that we're going to have animation and we're going to have the live action. doesn't look like Angela Lansbury that I remember for that movie. They did some Photoshop on her, I think, there. Or I'm not remembering her as well. Maybe I just remember her as older as she is. Love Hocus Pocus poster because it's Drew Struzan. You can tell, you can just see it. Didn't care for 101 Dalmatians, the animated movie. I actually liked 101 Dalmatians just because Glenn Close. She was a superb Cruella de Vil. I did not see the new Cruella yet. It looks not my style. I think this is more in alignment with Disney proper, and I think Glenn Close did a superb job as Cruella de Vil. 102 Dalmatians was garbage. Pirates of the Caribbean, the Rookie. These are okay. Nothing too special about those posters. I think these posters are okay because you would have multiple ones, and they kind of fit together. So you got that little scene out in the middle that you have multiple posters, but they kind of tell one story. Yeah, and Melissa, again, the makeup's just so good. Not a bad Oz poster. I like this better than that trifold one that we saw earlier. So, and that's a good teaser for the live-action Cinderella as well. Yeah, so a great book, great movie posters. If you love Disney, if you love movie posters, if you're even mediocre about movie posters or Disney, it's still a great book. It's got so much packed within, the cover and the cover. The covers. It's a plural of cover. You have to take some time to get to it. But there's so much here that I think that anybody who likes one or other, this will be a great addition to your collection. Highly recommend it. Disney movies are classics. They're always going to be classics, except when maybe they're not. But anyway, they're classics, and they're always going to be classics because I said so. But this is a book that, again, as I mentioned before, in collecting movie posters, you only got so much room to put these things. And so you might want to buy some of your favorites. But even though you like a certain movie poster, you might not have space for it. And so this is a great way to, keep a movie poster collection without having to physically keep a movie poster collection or pay the premium prices that some of them have, depending on the years and styles and all those sorts of things. So this book, though, is Disney specific. And so if you are interested in that specifically, this is a great choice for you. Also, if you have other items, like I have a lot of cells. I have a lot of things, I've got Jafar from Aladdin back here, and I couple that with a poster. But I could also, have a book on a stand or on a shelf nearby. And so if somebody was coming through and I wanted to show them a particular poster from that particular movie, it kind of couples nicely with a display piece. So I think it's a pretty cool book. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all those sorts of things. Helps out a great deal. We will see you next time right here on the Pop Art Hunter channel.